Welcome back to Blinkers Off. Well, legendary trainer Bill Dixon recently handed over the reins, so to speak, to his son Grant, who is now not only a driver, but he is a trainer and driver. And to check out how the rookie trainer was going, Chris Barsby recently visited the Mount Tambourine stables of Grant Dixon.
This morning we were about to catch up with the Dixon stable, one of the busiest in southeast Queensland. Big numbers, big results. Grant Dixon recently brought up 3,000 lifetime winners. The stable, just in this last season, close to 300 winners. Let's go and find Grant and find out what makes this stable so successful. This is a big setup. How many horses could you house here?
Oh, Chris, we can house like up to 60 horses easy enough. There's no troubles. Then they've all got their paddocks that they power up and go out into as well. So there's plenty of room, for large numbers and that. And we keep all the horses fairly comfortable, and they got plenty of room to move in their paddocks, and they have a pretty good lifestyle.
Just here on my right, this is the feed room. A lot of activity obviously in there.
Yeah, it's a big job. Pete gets that job of making the feeds up, and he spends a few hours a day in there getting them all sorted, and keeps the board all marked up for the odd time that he's not here to make them up. But it's a big job and a really important job.
You've mentioned Pete. He's been part of the stable for a long time. Just on the stable staff, how many do you have all up?
Oh, Chris, on the overall, most of the time we probably employ from 10 to 12. And Pete's been with us for about 20 years now, so we've got a lot of good staff. Some that sort of come and go as they pass along, waiting for other jobs that they really sought after. But some of the guys have been here for quite a while, and they're good, and they've been here for the good times and the bad times.
And just on the horses, give or take, what do you hope to have, or what do you try and maintain, year by year?
Oh, I probably hope to train around 50 most of the time. I think you got to, if you want to keep finding your next good horse, you got to keep sorting your way through them. At the moment, I'm happy to train around that number and keep ticking away.
And as far as the horses, they start from basically 2 right through until 10, 12.
Yeah, but on the overall, I'd say most of our good horses that we've basically had them from yearlings, and then sort of gone from there with them. I think on the overall, you got to keep having your young ones come through to find your next good one.
Facilities here, as we've said, they're very, very good. Are you happy with the way things have panned out here and what you've got?
Oh, Chris, we're really happy with it. It's good to work out of. If it's raining, you're out of the weather. If it's hot and sunny, in the shade and in the cool. It's not like a show place to look at, but it's really user friendly and really great to work out of.
Is there anything else that you want to add to this property?
I've seen them advertising them aqua walkers. Probably love one of those, but might be out of the budget for quite a while.
Carter Brown is one horse that I want to touch on because he's been good this season, or in the past season. He was able to rack up a feature race victory. He's a neat little horse, Carter Brown.
Yeah, he's a good horse. He doesn't win a lot of feature races, but he's always thereabouts. I was really sort of proud of him finally winning the size stakes, because he'd sort of been in all of them, and he finally won his last chance. But probably in his year, on the overall, he's been one that's been there in all the finals. There's been ones that have come and gone and sort of beat him at different times, but he's sort of fronted up in all the finals, and if he didn't win some of them, he run seconds and thirds. He's just been a real good, honest horse, and he can race the best of them and do himself proud.
I want to touch on the whole stable and what it achieved in the past season. In the last couple of years, there've been big numbers chalked up by the stable. This season, something very special. Around 300 winners. That's almost a winner a day. They're massive numbers.
Yeah, Chris, it's been a good season, like we say, winners wise, and the horses have kept winning, and we've had a good steady flow of new horses coming through. If you just get a good clean season without having no bad luck, you can sort of keep chipping away and going pretty good. We've trained large numbers all season. But you know, it's going to be, you know, hard to sort of keep this pace up. So obviously at some stage we'll sort of probably back off a little bit. And
in saying that, you don't set out at the start of a season to say we're going to train 300 winners this season. Not even a thought, I'm sure, that crosses the mind about those sort of numbers.
No, Chris, you just, on the end of the day, I only just sort of go basically week to week, you know. Obviously hope with the numbers that we start that you're going to train, you know, at least two winners a week. Obviously just you know, for starters, to pay the bills and keep things ticking away. It sort of surprised me how high, you know, amount of winners that we sort of have got to, but probably just, you know, just the numbers that we have trained throughout the season and the amount we've started.
In the past couple of years, you've had the national record with winners for a season. I think the previous best was last season, about just over 260. It's a big jump this year when you consider that you've got close to 300. No one's going to get close to that, surely.
No, like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if Luke MacArthur gives us a nudge. The amount of horses that he's probably likely to have in work soon, and the quality that he's going to have. But you know, Luke probably keeps, you know, the numbers down a little bit just to make sure he can keep concentrating on his good ones. But the way that he's going, they're nearly all good ones.
Are you happy with the way things are going here in Queensland?
Oh, Chris, you know, naturally, we'd like things to go a little bit different. You know, probably how they cut a meeting out for the bottom rung of horses probably wasn't ideal. I think it sort of cuts, you know, makes it harder for participants. Everyone's got, you know, the horses that aren't sort of right up to scratch from the start, and some of them horses need to start off a bit steady to develop into good race horses. They're not all naturally good at the start. And like cutting back race numbers at different meetings, probably a tough call. The little injection of prize money probably helps, but I think the general step back in the Q-bred bonus is a really bad thing for the sport and overall, because I think throughout Australia our size stakes scheme is probably number one. The fact that we used to have a 2, 3 and 4 year old finals, 4 lots each year, which was a big plus. And I think on the overall, if you probably go and take Carter Brown for example, if you probably go and line him up with like a Victorian horse that probably raced as much as he did, and his prize money would be very similar. But with the new way that they're going to do it, it won't be the same. It won't be as good. So, and I think it's going to make it hard for the studs up here with the Q-bred horses probably won't be as sought after as they have been in the past. So.
Just on the prize money, overall, your viewpoint, is it at an adequate level, or what is the ideal level?
I think if the prize money, like the boost where it's got to now, and then we still had the Q-bred to go on top of it, I think we'd be going quite okay. But the fact that they've taken the Q-bred system basically away from us, I know they're going to run the QS races, but that's going to be races here and there, and one horse could probably get a lot of the bonuses, where the way it is now, they do get spread around fairly good.
What does the future hold for Grant Dixon? What are you hoping to achieve in the next season?
Oh, Chris, I just want to keep the stable ticking away the way it is. Hopefully, just hope to come across group horses, and eventually, hopefully get to travel away with them and win them a bit better races. And hopefully next season, if we have a bit of luck, probably win a few more features, and keep just keep the general winners ticking through the stable.
Appreciate your time.
No worries, Chris.
Yes, interesting comments from Grant Dixon there, and I believe the Chief Foreman's going to get a run in next week's show here, Barton Coburn.
Yeah, had the chance to catch up with Barton as well, so he'll appear on next week's program. But interesting times out there at Tambourine with both Grant and Barton.
Yeah, good work, Chris. We'll take a break, come back with the highlights from Albion Park on Saturday night.